Well, folks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally have some big reinforcements coming back into their wide receiver room with Chris Godwin making his return. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way, and more on them a little bit later on in this video. So Chris Godwin is officially not ruled out for this upcoming matchup versus the LA Rams. Huge news here. Now, obviously, Bucky Irving is still ruled out for this game. We don't necessarily know when he is going to be coming back, but Chris Godwin should be lined up to be playing in this upcoming game. As everybody knows, Godwin has missed a lot of time this year. Most recently, he has been out since week 5 versus the Seattle Seahawks with a fibula injury. Before that, he missed the first 3 games of the season due to still recovering from his dislocated ankle that he suffered last year. So overall, Godwin has missed 8 total games so far this year, only playing in week 4 and in week 5 as well. He's only amassed 6 catches for 52 receiving yards. And his return to this wide receiver room is going to be very much needed because with Mike Evans dealing with his broken collarbone injury, the Bucs have been very thin at wide receiver. Also, Jalen McMillan is still dealing with his fractured, sprained neck injury. He might be able to come back around mid-December. Evans might be able to come back around week 16 or week 17. So the Bucs have had to rely on a good amount of backup receivers. Sterling Shepard has pretty much been the team's second wide receiver throughout this chunk of time. Tez Johnson has had to step up in the absence of Evans and Godwin as well. The big one being Emeka Egbuka, who has been the team's de facto number 1 wide receiver throughout pretty much most, if not all, of this season, without Evans and without Godwin in that mix as well. So getting Godwin back into this mix is certainly going to be a very beneficial thing because besides Egbuka, we've seen a lot of these wide receivers struggle to get separation with Shepard, with Tez Johnson on a regular basis. So having Godwin back, even in a limited capacity, is going to be a beneficial thing. And that's something that is worth talking about as well because, look, Godwin has missed 8 games this year. He does only have 6 catches for 52 yards. He's had a lot of different types of injuries this year. So I don't expect Godwin to come back into the mix and immediately get like 10 catches for 100 yards or anything along those lines. But getting Godwin out there for any amount of plays is still going to be a beneficial thing to this offense, right? Because he is still a valuable weapon in this offense. You still have to treat him with a decent amount of attention if you are that LA Rams defense and just going forward, right? Because it's so much more important than just this one game, right? With the stretch after the Rams game where you're playing the Falcons again, you're playing the Saints again, you're playing the Panthers twice, you've got games against the Cardinals, the Dolphins, and stuff like that. You're going to need the services of Chris Godwin, right? And a duo of Godwin and Emeka Egbuka certainly looks a whole heck of a lot better than not having Godwin or Evans out there. No disrespect to Shepard and to Tez Johnson. They've done a fine job in their role, but Godwin is obviously going to be a big boon for this offense going forward. So again, I don't necessarily expect a big chunk of plays for Godwin going forward into this upcoming game versus the LA Rams, but whenever I think about it, I don't think about it as just like, hey, he's just back for the one game. Oh man, this is going to help them out, have a better chance of winning against the LA Rams, and that is true, right? But I look at the longer term picture throughout the remainder of this season to say, hey, the offense is getting healthier. If they can win the division, if they can go to the playoffs and whatnot, having a healthy Evans, having a healthy Godwin, having a healthy Egbuka at the end of that year, going into a playoff run would be a pretty nice thing to see. So let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about this down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. One more thing before we go ahead and head out, everybody. Shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. If you guys use the code Mr. Bucks, you will get a 100% match up to $100. That is, again, whenever you use the code Mr. Bucks. Also, just for signing up, everybody, you get $20 for free. It's simple as that. So making your picks is as simple as just hitting a couple of buttons. Make sure you go download the Sleeper app today and enjoy football the way it was meant to be. That is together. Huge shout out to Sleeper for being the proud sponsor of this channel. Folks, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now and go Bucs.